equality to all of its members. Is there such a thing in Islam? Is there equality of faith? Rasulullah said, don't greet the Jews and the Christians before they greet you, and when you meet any of them on the roads, force them to go on the narrow side of it.
All right, and welcome to another wonderful edition. Great, ecstatic, joyful. I've run out of adjectives. Episode of Ken's Corner. Ken, how are you doing, my brother?
I'm doing okay. How are you, Jay? Awesome to see you.
Doing great, and we have Brett again.
Yes, we do.
Great to be back. Thanks for having me back, guys.
Of course. For those that
he takes the edge off me.
Balance them out a little bit.
Fair enough. But Ken will be doing, for those that do not know, a flying elbow from the top belt straight to the head of the fake news media propaganda that saturate our world. Oh, wow. I think they heard
slam.
I think they heard that in China.
It's a slam. That'd be bad to the noggin. That'd be really bad to the noggin. A straight elbow blast. Oh.
Especially your elbow. Your thick bones.
Yeah.
You have a really big elbow, so.
Yeah. Or forward. Yeah.
Ken, you have a new shirt.
Yes, I have. I have hundreds of shirts, so I decided to put on a new one, obviously, for the new show. And it says Sayeret, which means reconnaissance unit, and it is the Israeli Special Forces. So, but all these it refers to elite Special Forces unit that focuses on missions like intelligence gathering, surveillance, counterterrorism, hostage rescue, and covert operations, often behind enemy lines. These units are known for their rigorous training and selectivity. So, but it's just one of the shirts that I picked up from one of my guys. So,
and the red beret skeleton is, what is he flying on top of?
He's flying on top of a lion or something. A lion, and the lion. It's like it has a wolf head, a lion head, and a dragon head. So he's flying. Yeah.
Are you sure? Are you sure it's not a woman with a golden cup drinking, drinking wine?
I hope. Yeah, I hope
that's later.
That's later. But this is for the Israeli Special Forces. So, yep.
Very nice. Brett, you're up first. You have some news updates for us this week. Let's start with, the UK government has decided that they don't like David Wood. Talk to me about that.
Yeah, so YouTuber and apologist David Wood, who had already had tickets, airfare, and everything, planning to go over and was going to attend the new ARC conference, which is Alliance for Responsible Citizenships. One of the people that got that started was Jordan Peterson, and David Rubin and others were going to be there. So he planned to go over and spend some time in Speaker's Corner and then be part of this new conference, and then also had plans, gotten permission to go in and do some footage in the Louvre. And then found out that as of January 8th, to enter the UK, you now need an ETA, which is an electronic transfer authorization. So he applied for that, which they said would be easy to get, and immediately got a call back or a letter back that not only was he denied entry, but he could not appeal it. To try to go around this, he applied for an emergency or quick visa, and again was rejected and told that he could not appeal that. And basically, he is now, as of now, banned from the UK, and also he'd been previously banned from Canada just for his free speech and his stance on Islam.
Yeah.
So no more Speaker's Corner is no longer for people outside the UK that have a different opinion.
No, exactly.
He joins some tremendous company. Michael Savage has been banned from Britain for, I don't know, 15 years now.
Yeah, I think he was one of the first. Wasn't he and Alex Jones back in the day too? Right? Isn't Alex a fan too?
Correct.
Yep.
Both of them.
So, but both of them, it wasn't for a Christian reason though. It wasn't for it wasn't a Christian apologist. Both Michael Savage and Alex Jones was more for their view on Muslim, right? So from a secular standpoint, right?
Yep.
So, and then this is from a Christian standpoint for this. So this puts a little edge on it.
Yeah.
This puts a little edge on it. Yeah. A big edge on it.
One of our viewers actually, Ken, sent me a video. It was very interesting video. I will go ahead and play it for our studio audience, but so this really is indicative of what we're talking about. It's a video of a bunch of a few Muslims in front of an Episcopalian church selling Qurans.
Oh my gosh. What?
Yes, I will have it playing now so you can see it.
Wow.
So that was from our good friend Gingo de Bingo, which
nice.
Yes.
Nice. Yeah. I haven't seen his responses lately.
So current estimates, a 2017 report by Giles DeCorv, Cove, the UA counterterrorism coordinator, estimated 20 to 25,000 Islamist radicals in the UK, with 3,000 considered a direct threat by MI5 and 500 under constant surveillance. Many of these individuals are likely still alive in Britain. So can you imagine why you can't have David Wood at Speaker's Corner?
Wow.
It takes one of those Islamists to churn the pot.
Yeah.
Maybe it goes back to that origami goat he made.
Yeah.
For those that watch David Wood, they'll know what that is.
Oh my gosh. His channel it's been censored slowly. As we were talking in the pre-show, it's called, what's it called again? His channel?
It was originally Act 17, which had, I forget how many followers. It was off the charts. And now he had to Apologetic Roadshow, and he still has over 300,000 followers. And just from that view, he has over 38 million views. Wow.
I mean,
the people that don't know, he to get back at the Muslims for I think it was when they were messing with somebody at Speaker's Corner. I can picture, I can't forget her name. And so he made an origami goat out of a page of the Quran.
Ooh.
Ouch.
So,
ouch.
Are we sure
he's not one to shy away from controversy with Islam?
Are we sure?
But again, never threatened, never, just trying to get the truth out.
Wow. What were you going to say, Jay?
I'm just wondering, does he have a fatwa against him?
I don't know if that would probably,
So one of my clients had a fatwa out against him.
What?
Yes.
Oh my gosh.
He was a manager of comedians, and one of his comedians said something against Islam, and the FBI got a hold of him to let him know that his client and him both had a fatwa out on him.
Oh my gosh.
I'm like, dude, that's so awesome.
Oh my gosh. That'd be the ultimate crown of glory right there.
Right?
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Wow.
Interesting. Moving on, Trump decided to send a message in a bottle. He's sending it to his friends in Iran. Brett, you brought this story as well. Did he write them a love letter?
not quite so much. So as we know, during Trump's first presidency, he pulled out of the Obama agreement that they made with Iran, which basically had no teeth, did not slow Iran down from its nuclear project at all. So he sent a letter to Khomeini saying that he wants to have a new deal with Tehran to stop its rapidly advancing nuclear program. And the letter gives Iran the choice to either negotiate with the U.S. or that the U.S. would take military action against Iran. And he gave Iran 2 months to respond. Trump said, quote, "We have a situation with Iran that something is going to happen very soon, very, very soon. So hopefully we can have a peace deal." I'm not speaking out of strength or out of weakness. I'm just saying I'd rather see a peace deal than the other, but the other would solve the problem. And as I'm saying, they are not interested in coming to the table and not working with Trump on a peace deal. So it's going to be interesting to see what turn this takes.
Wow. Well, I know that Trump said if the Iranians don't make a deal, there will be bombs, and they will be bombs like they've never seen before.
Well, and they have that new B-2 that has the capability of hitting those underground bunkers.
Yep. And they have 19 of them are
It makes it in one that bunker with all the other nuclear bombs. I mean, that's going to be a fireworks show.
Yeah, it's on Diego Garcia, huh? They have a fleet of them on Diego Garcia of the B-2s. Yeah.
Yeah.
Whew.
Sad to say, Iran being one of the places on the earth that has the fastest growing born again Christian revival happening. And of course, this comes at the time when the United States decides it's going to drop bombs on it. This seems to be a reoccurring thing with the United States, finding countries that have a growing Christian population and targeting that country. And not that the regime of Iran isn't terrible, ladies and gentlemen, but it is a shame that the church is bringing peoples to the Lord in that area of the world, and now they're facing bombing.
Yeah. How are they're second, right? Because didn't China, are they a close second to China though? Aren't they?
I've heard figures where they've said that they're number one now.
Yeah, I've heard that too.
I have two. And then that just goes to show you that persecution brings people closer to the Lord. Yeah.
Persecution and much faster than wealth and health.
Yeah, absolutely. And that should just be something that we should always think about. That we're we're wealthy and healthy right now, and we're not going to be wealthy and healthy coming. But more people may come to the Lord. Who knows? So
and to definitely keep those people in Iran, those Christians in Iran, in prayer, and
absolutely
that this will help even convert more.
Yeah, I heard that too. I heard they were up there. I heard they were close to China because China, they have 1.5 billion people. But how many people does Iran have? You look that up real quick.
Sure.
Interesting. 100 million, 200 million, 80 million below. I don't even know.
Before China opened, I think they estimated there was 1 million Christians in China, and then it ended up being 20.
Underground, yeah.
So there was so many. It was 20 times what they thought underground.
91.5 million.
91. So I'm more closer with the 80. Yeah.
You have to be careful with China too, because there's variants of Christianity inside of China.
Yes. That's what I was thinking.
They'll be counted as Christians, but we if we were to examine their doctrine, would say absolutely not. These people are not Christians.
Yeah, true believers. Yep.
Moving on, do keep our Christian brothers in Iran in prayer, and also pray for president to have wisdom, and also pray for the people of Iran that they might want to see some change in their government, some change in their society that maybe will prevent war.
That would be nice.
Yeah.
Brett, you have an update. Zelensky decided that he's going to give up the reins of power. He's handing them over to a neutral party to go ahead and discuss peace terms. He wants nothing but absolute ceasefire and
it's all love,
right?
I think with the fear of with NATO and the EU of Trump wanting to end the Ukraine war, NATO is now taking control of the transfer of the military equipment from Poland to Ukraine. The mission is also responsible for training Ukrainian soldiers to fight against Russians. NATO has threatened Russia that if it attacks the supply chain for the weapons coming through Poland, that they would completely destroy Russia. The EU, knows that Trump wants peace, and NATO has established a new mission called NSAT-U. Europe is refusing to acknowledge any peace deal brokered by Trump and has openly stated that they will not respect any ceasefire in the Black Sea. And Europe continues to cross red lines that the Russians have drawn in hoping to draw Putin in to paint Putin as the villain and the aggressor in this war. Russia has also come back and warned that Europe sending troops and calling them peacemakers is nothing but a total fabricated lie. And the Russian foreign minister spokesman stated on Thursday that this could lead to a direct clash between Russia and NATO. And going back to that, EU, they want to be part. It's just so crazy that if Trump could broker a peace deal with Putin, the EU refuses to respect it, that they want that. And I'm not saying Putin's a good guy, but why would Putin believe any deal coming out of the EU after the failed Minsk agreement, especially when Merkel came on camera and admitted that the whole Minsk agreement was just a tactic to stall, to build up troops in Ukraine to attack Russia. And they keep pushing forward on wanting to get Ukraine into the EU. And
how many countries did you mention?
Huh?
How many countries want that were you mentioned a whole bunch of countries?
That was
like Latvia and all the
Yeah, that was a little later story, but so both Denmark, Sweden, Finland, Estonia, Latvia, and Lithuania are pushing for Ukraine to become an EU member. And EU Commission President Ursula Leyland said that she believes that this could happen by 2030. And I think anyone that believes that Russia would allow Ukraine to become an EU member has another thing coming. They don't understand the pressure that Putin has from oligarchies. They will wipe out Ukraine, if not Europe, before they let that happen. And just in the buildup for this, we talked about last week how Poland had wanted to up its military from 200,000 to 400,000. And this week, Germany's come out and said that it wants to up its military from 262,000 to 462,000, adding another 200,000. And with that, they said they're willing to spend $100 billion in a new fund to modernize its military. And obviously Russia is seeing this, knowing this is all directed exactly to them. And and then to top that off, we had NATO Secretary General Mark Rutte said that if anyone were to miscalculate and think they can get away with an attack on Poland or on any other ally, they will be met with the full force of this fierce alliance. Our reaction will be devastating. This has to be very clear to Vladimir Putin and anyone else who wants to attack us. So they're basically doing everything they possibly can to get Putin to attack them. Putin knows peace is not. They're not going to respect any peace deal made.
I just have a quick question. So has Putin or Russia actually attacked a NATO member yet?
No,
I don't think they have.
no, I don't think they have. Yes.
So why would we think that he would now?
Right?
Yeah.
Something smells wrong in the
something
EU.
smells wrong.
Well, and just to add the corruption in the EU, Hungary rejected the new $22 billion fund to Ukraine to send a package to give them more weapons. And with that you needed to be unanimous. So then the EU went behind closed doors and said, you know what, we're going to change the rule that our votes no longer have to be unanimous, so that they could get that 22 billion to Ukraine. And an unnamed, which I can see why I'd want to be unnamed, senior member of the EU diplomat said, this is the new normal, and it is useful when it comes to our political tent. Maybe down the line, though, we will encounter other problems. Hungary said that it will not support a pro-war stance and believes sending more money will only increase the amount of problems. And the Hungarian politician said, we do not want to see our taxpayers funding a war that we do not want to be in.
Yeah. Hungary's the only guy speaking. Orban's the only guy speaking any sense at all.
Yeah.
I have a second question. Maybe it's rhetorical. How many intercontinental ballistic missiles does Russia have? Just give me a your best guesstimate.
But the same as us, right? Or more close.
Yeah.
Or close.
We got rid of some of ours under Reagan, and who knows if the old Soviet Union, if they actually did or not.
Okay.
Yeah, they might have said they did.
So they're on parity with us.
Yeah.
Now here's a crucial part of my question. How many does the EU have? The EU have.
Well, you have France that has nuclear power.
France, UK,
England, UK.
I think you're
Germany?
done with your. I think you're done with your list. I don't think Germany has many.
Yeah, I don't think.
No. France.
Yeah.
So
I don't think they have many either.
If the United States has parity with the USSR, or I'm sorry, Russia, how would the EU fight a nuclear power like Russia if Russia decided that they were just sick of it?
Yeah, exactly.
Well, and then, I mean, not only on top of that is you have China seeing what the EU is doing to Russia, and they know they're next. So it's only a matter of time that they're going to push, that they're going to throw in with Russia to be like, we're stopping this.
Yeah. I just want to know how it all equals out in times. I just want to know where it all adds up, because we're living in some precarious times right now.
Definitely wars and rumors of wars.
Yeah, definitely. But
so maybe we're going to see that peace deal not only include Israel, but maybe include some of the EU and the Soviet Union or Russia.
Yeah. Who knows? Yeah.
In lighter news, New Jersey is to allow parents to pick their child's gender at birth. Wait, that's not lighter.
Yeah, that's really heavy. That's really heavy.
This is just spectacular as the insanity continues. New Jersey parents can now select both gender and sexual identity at birth. They will be given a questionnaire, and parents can select which of the following best describes their newborn baby. Ready for the list?
Yes.
They could be lesbian, gay, straight or heterosexual, bisexual, questioning. They could be unsure, or they could self-describe.
Wait.
The parents self-describe means, but
a parent defines the sexuality of the child.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh.
I think that's above their pay grade.
Yeah.
And I mean, where's child service protection on this?
Where they don't have any.
But mommy, I really do like girls.
Yeah. No, you like boys now.
You're like boys.
Yeah. Wow. And then you have the crazy parents that they're the ones that end up choosing.
Yeah.
And they raise them like that.
And I think this plays into one of your later stories that we'll talk about.
Yeah. Yep. Definitely. Wow.
You know, I just have one question that I'd like to ask. New Jersey, who touched you? And
yeah.
Who hurt you?
Who hurt you? Was it Chris Christie?
Yeah, was it Chris Christie?
I never trusted that guy.
No, I never either did.
No.
Oh man.
Another bombshell of the story that is now coming to light. U.S. student groups had Telegram, and
yes,
that had ties to the October 7th attack.
So the UK just came out with over a 300-page parliamentary commission report that said U.S. student groups that were both pro-Hamas and pro-Palestinian had dormant Telegram accounts. And coincidentally, just 3 minutes before the October 7th attacks in Israel, all those accounts were suddenly reactivated at the same time. So read into that what you want, but there is a whole lot more going on behind the scenes than we're being told.
Wow.
Two possibilities.
To also think about that, to think that was not a trial run for what is going to be happening in the U.S., I think you're blind to that, because this just shows the warnings that we've been getting from people that we both read, that it's a matter of time that, you know, there's going to be something that's going to be way bigger than October 7th that's going to happen here.
Yep.
Two possibilities.
Well, where you guys are, not where I am.
No, not where you are.
Yeah, well, if it comes to us,
it's still going to be affected.
Yeah, you'll still come to use eventually.
Yeah, eventually. Yeah.
It's either a bunch of college students or too stupid to know better, or here's the more sinister route: intelligent groups with dummy accounts to communicate and to coordinate.
Yeah, they've been using a lot of Telegram lately. Yep. That's a clean it. Yeah, that's why they wanted to take Telegram away. April 5th is supposed to be the big TikTok take, right? They're just supposed to shut that down. I think April 5th is the big day.
Is that
something like that? Yeah. April 5th. The only reason I remember is my anniversary. We're going away this weekend on April 5th. Yeah. So
nice.
I think that's why
I was going to text you, but happy early anniversary.
Thank you. Yep. So, wow. Is that the last story?
That is the last story.
That's the last one I have.
The next story, it's a very interesting story.
I hear something. What is that I hear? What's that?
Whoa, I hear it too. What could that be?
Well, this is interesting because according to the CIA, they have found the Ark of the Covenant. And not only have they found the Ark of the Covenant through remote viewing, but they found it in a Middle Eastern country inside an underground vault or cavern guarded by two very powerful beings. Gentlemen, your thoughts on this leaked report from the CIA?
And go ahead.
Well, my first question: what exactly do they mean by the two beings that are guarding it?
Yeah, that's what I wanted to know. What are the beings that are guarding it? Yeah, Yeah.
Also, the timing seems to be very coincidental too, with everything going on.
Yeah.
What do you
And
mean?
yeah. Distraction, man. But yeah, there's some psychic. The CIA found declassified files. They say claim, and it was from a remote viewer, and she saw it. And it but you had an insight that you shared in pre-show. What was that you think that it's going to set up possibly?
Well,
Setting up.
I think this is what is it called exactly in the CIA tactic book? It's they're using it as like a distraction, but also a foreshadowing, because I sincerely believe that the populace and the people of Israel are at that point where they want to build that third temple, and what could facilitate moving the Dome of the Rock and the Al-Aqsa Mosque immediately? Well, if you found the Ark of the Covenant that needed the blood poured on the mercy seat, I think you would find that Jews would move heaven and earth to make sure that they could sacrifice on the authentic Ark of the Covenant.
So where does this? Yeah, where does this go with like the bronze, compared to the bronze serpent? Remember what happened?
That's exactly. This is the Nehushtan.
Like, remember
recapitulated.
Yes. Yeah. Numbers 21, man. The bronze serpent, and then Hezekiah, in 2 Kings 18, I think. He had to destroy it. Yeah, in pieces, broke it in pieces. It says, yeah.
I mean, let's face it. Hollywood built an ark. How hard is it to build an ark?
Yeah.
Well, and then we have the Temple Institute, which, I mean, didn't they say that they already have everything for the temple but that?
Yeah.
So they're ready to go. I think they said
they're ready to rock and roll.
Like
they're ready.
3 weeks?
Yeah, they said they could do like a temporary shelter. If they don't have to build anything, it's just a temporary, like a tent.
In the wilderness. Yeah.
Yep. Crazy.
I don't think they're gonna go. I don't think they're gonna go with the tent in the wilderness.
No, I don't think so either.
I think they're gonna
go with the real thing.
I'm going to do a spoiler alert right now. I talked with a very prominent rabbi in Israel when I was there with Jacob, and we were talking with his wife, and the wife had something very interesting to say. I think I've told this story before, but we were asking her, well, how do you make the temple when you have the Dome of the Rock right there? And she said to the cameraman and I, well, we have the technology nowadays where you can move entire buildings. So if Saudi Arabia wants it, we'll just drop it off at their border.
Wow. Whoa. Oh, man. Wow.
So there's where her mind was.
Wow.
I will not name names.
No names. No names
needed. Just
prominent. In fact, associated with the Temple Institute.
Wow.
So you could clear off the Dome of the Rock and Al-Aqsa Mosque within 3 to 6 months, and put them on an extra wide, going towards the border.
Extra wide towards the border.
Back to Mecca.
Oh man! Wow. That's insanity.
Yes, that is insanity.
Hey, wow. Penny, remind me, how many times was Jerusalem mentioned in the Quran? Because I can't remember for some reason.
0 or 1.
Oh yeah, that's right. That's why I don't remember.
Hey, once you conquer a city, you never give it up. Come on, you guys. Once you completely defile the religion and the culture and turn it into yours, you don't give it back.
You don't give it back. Nope.
I mean, if you're a student of history, you have to have the Spanish come and reconquista.
Yeah, reconquista. Yep.
All right, moving on.
Man.
Actually, this ties into a story you have, Ken. Not only do we have the Ark of the Covenant showing up, but we have some prominent figures that are going to be doing some business in Saudi Arabia. In fact, I have it on firsthand knowledge that Trump has already said that while he is going to be staying in Saudi Arabia, since he hates falafel, he will be only eating McDonald's.
Yeah. And Trump's first foreign visit, his second term, will be Saudi Arabia. Yep. That's all I put down. I just thought that was very interesting to see that because that's what happened his first term, right? Remember when they showed his face glowing?
Yeah.
In front of that space ball thing or whatever, and his face was glowing. So I don't know if he's going, but it's funny that Saudi Arabia is coming up so much in investing in them. They're investing 1.2 or 3 trillion.
4 trillion.
1.4 trillion, but in Ezekiel 38 and 39, we see them there. They stand off to the side and they don't involve themselves, right? It's Deed on Sheba, right? And they're like, what is this going on? What are you guys doing? What are you guys doing? It's kind of just trying to put that together. I don't know when that happens. The Ezekiel 38, 39. I got some ideas, but
Pretty sure McDonald's is haram.
Yeah.
Not in Saudi Arabia. They have all halal McDonald's in Saudi Arabia. I'm pretty sure.
Do they really?
I'm pretty sure.
Baby kofta, chicken, crispy.
Old traditions, new choices. Enjoy it all as McDonald's brings you a delicious selection of the Macarabia, made with authentic Arabic flavors. Macarabia, true to tradition.
The chicken Macarabia. Wow.
Oh my gosh.
I will show you a picture of the chicken.
Is that rabbit?
It's chicken. The chicken Macarabia. That just takes the cake.
Man.
That's why Trump can go everywhere in the world. He can always eat because he's really close to a McDonald's.
Yep, and that's why he goes to Saudi Arabia. That's why he goes there.
Yeah, the chicken Macarabia looks pretty good. You know what looks pretty good, Ken? This next story. Democrats are going extinct.
Yeah. So Martin, and I suggest everybody read Martin Armstrong. He's where Brett and I get a lot of our stories from, and we read them every day. And you can follow him, and that'll be it. But the Democrats are going extinct. A new party will arise from the ashes. A new NBC poll shows that the Democrat Party has dropped to a record low. Only 27% of registered voters said they held positive views of the party. Biden continues to delude himself that he could have beat Trump. And Martin Armstrong's computer forecasts that the Democratic Party will split and collapse, which is insane. Just as the Federalists did, and just know that it's a cycle of history. The Federalists did for pretty much the same reason: dictatorial power from a centralized government. So the left has been stuffing the courts to reinterpret the Constitution to be progressive, which is exactly what the Federalists did back in 1913. So it was a progressive movement that passed the 16th Amendment to tax the rich, which ended up taxing everyone. So then they
Nice.
hand right. Then they hand your check and never pay interest. They refund your check and and borrowing from the poor and middle class for free. All right. So their targeting of the rich only fulfills their own pockets. Just think how many millions each one of them is worth. And they only have a salary of like 120,000 or something like that. So for example, look at AOC. Like she's worth 20 to 30 million. She's a bartender. She was a bartender 6 years ago. So anyway, many people are shocked that the forecast delivered in 2024 was that the Democratic Party was collapsing and that the party would no longer exist. This is Martin. He says, I put this forecast out long before anyone thought about that issue. So that's crazy.
And you see it they've just pushed it way too far to the left.
Oh,
that
absolutely.
The person just cannot agree with that. Even your normal.
No.
And like we were talking in the pre-show, when you have Bill Maher making fun of the left.
You've
gone too far.
Yeah, and he's making fun of it on major shows. Yeah.
Gentlemen, do you think that it could be that Donald Trump proverbially was much like the Yucatan meteor strike, and that he's just so devastating to the Democrat Party that they're just lying down and going extinct?
Yeah, you're going extinct. Exactly. But it happened to them before. The Federalist Party did the same thing. They did the same push. They did the same push. Yep. Reinterpret the Constitution. They want it all reinterpreted, and
it doesn't seem to be a very popular stance. You know what's not popular either? Human intelligence is declining.
Yeah. This was a crazy story. And it's not you that's thinking this. It's people are really less smart than they used to be.
We are smart.
And I'm trying to use softer terms, less smart as in softer, but I want to say dumb.
We are smart.
So they're dumber. So Financial Times reports assessments show that people across age groups are having trouble concentrating and losing reasoning, problem solving, and information processing skills. These skills are gleaned from benchmarking tests that track cognitive skills in teens and young adults. Years of research suggest that young people are struggling with reduced attention spans and weakening critical thinking skills. The COVID-19, now that's a debacle that has caused a steep decline, partially from the disruption in education. Although trends have been measured and evidence of them have shown since the mid-2010s. So it's been going on for longer, suggesting whatever is going on runs longer, deeper, and lasts longer than the pandemic. So one key indicator is the sharp decline in reading and world's changing relationship to the way we consume information and media. And
we are smart.
37% of people polled said they read a novel or short story. In the year prior, down from 41% in 2017 and 45% in 2012, probably from brain rot from scrolling online. But anyway, 34% of adults in the U.S. scored at lowest levels of the ability to work with numbers. A year ago, it was 29%. So it's a 5% gain in 1 year. So there are studies that show that the screen time hurts verbal functioning in children and makes it harder for college-age adults to concentrate and retain information. But that's the human intelligence sharply declining.
We are smart.
When did the smartphone come out? Because you said 2010 was when the decline started.
Probably about 2001. They didn't have it was to about 2005. When did the smartphone come out, Jay?
I think it was later than that.
In 2005?
Looking it up right now.
What's it say?
Says the first
smartphone. Looks that up.
Since the early 2010s, improved hardware, faster wireless communication has bolstered the growth of the smartphone industry. As of 2014, over 1 billion smartphones are sold globally. In 2019 alone, 1.54 billion smartphone units were shipped worldwide.
Wow.
Most modern smartphones
You said
have the
2010.
ability. Most smartphones have the ability for downloaders to purchase additional applications. They've often have to support cloud storage and virtual assistants. Since the 2010s, improves hardware and faster wireless communications have bolstered the growth.
Wow.
So when it really took off, it was 2010. They were there before, but
amazing.
It wasn't as powerful.
Yeah, amazing. So this is, although the trends have been measured and the evidence has shown since the mid 2010s. Yeah. Wow.
Let's see. You know what? The best way to look at it, when was the first iPhone?
Yeah.
First iPhone, January 9th, 2007.
So Brett just texted me. They just lost power.
Oh, that's
he should be able to he should be able to reconnect afterwards. We can keep going.
All right. Let's see. Our next one is the Black Mamba, KB24.
Yeah.
And the Eighth Man.
Yeah.
Kobe Bryant.
Yeah. Yes.
Some new connections.
This was
spark interest.
This was a crazy.
Crash.
Oh my gosh, crazy story. So it's just a conspiracy to think about. So in his final days, Kobe Bryant was in the middle of a fight few knew about, a fight that puts him up against Big Pharma. So Kobe was set to take high-tech pharmaceuticals to trial over their use of the word Black Mamba. But it wasn't just a trademark dispute. So high-tech pharmaceuticals had been exposed for lacing their diet pills with opioids, and the fact that they, if given the right amount of publicity, could have rocked the pharmaceutical industry. So, and Kobe, with his global influence, wasn't someone they wanted to bring attention to their corruption. So that trial was scheduled for the Wednesday after his tragic helicopter crash. So we're supposed to believe that just days before, Kobe was set to go head-to-head with a powerful company accused of pushing dangerous addictive substances on the public. He had taken the helicopter numerous times. So I know there was some weather discrepancies and stuff like that, but it just was an odd thing. And Kobe was a powerful figure with the ability to expose Big Pharma's secret. He had the reach, the credibility, and the platform to achieve that. I just thought that was interesting. Thought that was really interesting.
Nice. All right. Our next story is Utah. Utah is banning the rainbow flag from government and school buildings.
Yeah. And it's starting May 7th. State and local government buildings will be fined $500 a day for flying anything other than a U.S. flag, a Utah state flag, or a military flag. Also, political flags, this is interesting too, such as Make America Great Again, are not allowed as well. So that just shows you that they're cutting off, the political flags too. This could be a conflict in liberal Salt Lake City, which honors Pride Month, displaying LGBTQ flags, celebrating its large LGBTQ population. Local leaders have illuminated Salt Lake City and county buildings in rainbow lights to protest the flag ban each night. And the bill is supposed to encourage political neutrality. So Republican Governor Spencer Cox acknowledged that the bill he signed has been difficult, that's quote unquote, for the LGBTQ community. But Idaho is also advancing a bill that bans LGBTQ flags in schools and government buildings. And Florida lawmakers are advancing a proposal to ban pride flags as well. So that's just an update on that.
Ken, do you think the legislatures had a burning in their bosom that they moved forward with this ban?
Oh, I don't know. That's a very Mormon thing to say. Yeah.
You know, I have a follow-up question, actually. Ken, do you think that they found some anti-LGBTQ information in a newly found set of golden tablets? that we don't know about?
The ones that they have to look at with the goggles. They have the special goggles that they look at. Oh man. I that's one of the only South Parks that I remember is the Mormon one.
The Mormon
Sorry. Yeah. Oh man.
All right. Well, let's talk a little bit about the attack on Tesla. Ken,
Oh my
what
gosh.
do you know about the attack on Tesla?
Oh, I mean, so you've seen all the fires. I mean, I just saw. I'm looking at Twitter right now, and I just saw a European a store in I forget if it was France or Italy, but they had like 15 Teslas burnt, and New York has gone full blown stupid. You can add your own word in there if you want, but they've gone just full. The Democrats' latest move is a blatant attempt to ruin Tesla solely because of Elon Musk's ties to Trump. Excuse me. So New York State Senator Patricia Fahey has introduced legislation that would effectively ban Tesla's 5 in-person sales locations in New York. No matter what we do, we got to take this from Elon Musk, she states. And she also said he's part of an effort to go backwards. So, man, is there anything more tyrannical than purposely trying to destroy a business simply because you don't like the politics of their CEO? This goes well beyond boycotting and taking your money somewhere else in protest. So it's trying to ruin a genuine American company because your feelings have been hurt. The Democrats' proposal would lay the groundwork for any business in New York to be attacked by government if their leadership does not agree with their left-wing ideology. They weren't even trying to mask this. They were just, I mean, it's crazy. But they're just flat out admitting, hey, we kind of want to run Musk. We kind of want to ruin Musk because he gives us a case of the SADS. But Fahey wasn't always. What? Go ahead. Are you back?
Power outage.
Yeah.
Power outage. But the repercussions of this are going to go far beyond that, because if you're a business owner, you're not going to go to New Jersey or New York to ever start a business.
No. And then Fahey wasn't always like this. She's blinded by the Trump derangement syndrome when it comes to EVs. Because in 2022, she sponsored legislation that sought to expand direct sales locations for electronic vehicles in New York. Of course, no mention of Tesla being stripped of their locations, nor any thought of banning them back then. But in 2022, she was all for it. Now she's like trying to get them banned. It's just ridiculous. It's crazy.
And only because of politics and beliefs.
Yeah, all politics. Yep.
I wonder if there's any way that Tesla could maybe sue some of these states for basically, I guess this would be a form of
discrimination.
Yeah.
Yeah, because he's taken. I'm looking on Twitter right now, and he's asking, like, these people that are keen and lighting the fires and stuff. He's saying, we have pictures, we have, let's take them. And then Pam Bondi's talked about taking them down and arresting them. And so I don't know how big this gets, but yeah.
Who knows?
Who knows? Cracks our entire civilization and what this country was built on, that we can agree to disagree and still be friends.
Yep.
But look at even like 10 years ago, you get into a political discussion, and it was a discussion. It was like, I remember talking about politics all the time with my jiu-jitsu buddies, and there was a lot of liberal guys, and they were talking about this.
No big deal.
No big deal.
Yeah.
And then now it's like violence. It's like you see the George Floyd, all this stuff. It's crazy. It's nuts.
Yeah.
Our next story is just as nuts. Bees are disappearing.
Yeah. And that's one thing so Dane Wigington, who is geoengineerwatch.com, and I've actually had a couple phone calls with him and talked to him. He's big league. but the bee loss, the U.S. beekeeping industry is in crisis over the shocking and unexplained deaths of hundreds of millions of bees over the last 8 months. And he's been talking about the bee decline for about 5 years, 6 years. So he's seen it and he's been talking about it. Dane Wigginton. But the data is showing this is the worst bee loss in recorded history. This is crazy. So bees play a critical role. I don't know if people know how important bees are, but they play a critical role in U.S. food production. They pollinate 75% of fruits, nuts, and vegetables grown in the U.S. For example, almonds, there is no crop of almonds without honeybees. That was a nut statement. This is not just beekeeper issue. This is a national food security issue. So I just thought that story was crazy. Beyond.
And that goes with some of the other stories we're reading about, them Gates buying up the farmland.
Yes.
Canada and EU coming against the farmers.
And you just saw the egg. You just saw the egg thing, right? The eggs.
Yeah.
There's 200,000 liquid eggs that have been bleached or so. They've been whatever. It's just along with the chickens that they culled. How many chickens? 25 million or something like that. It's crazy.
Yeah,
it's nuts.
Over just a few. Yeah.
The bird flu or whatever, the flu, whatever.
And again, this is just setting us up for the end times.
Yep. It is. Yep. Can't have a country like the U.S. available for
Our final story of the day: Mormons, Christians, and Jews, or I'm sorry, Muslims, Mormons, Christians, and Jews, I would guess, are people of the book?
Yeah, well, he said Mormons, Jews, and Christians are people of the book. That was Mike Huckabee, and he's being questioned right now by Congress, for his ambassador role, I guess, to Israel, right? So I guess, yeah.
Yes.
But I remember when Huckabee asked a question to Mitt Romney during the 2008 presidential campaign, don't Mormons believe that Jesus and the devil are brothers? And that's just what they believe. That's what they're like. Yeah, spirit brothers, right? They're spirit brothers. So I was reading, and he eventually apologized to Mitt Romney, but that's straight up. It's like, it's what you believe. It's what. Why can't you? It's no different than Muslims believing that Muhammad married Aisha when she was 5 and consummated that marriage when she was 9. They admit that. That's just common knowledge. That's just common knowledge. So, but anyway, yeah. So he just called the Mormons, Jews, and Christians people of the book. So, yeah.
I just have a news update real quick. If this comes after, in related news, that Rick Warren and Huckabee spent an entire weekend playing a purpose-driven 9-hole in California.
Wow. Money.
That's awesome. Oh my gosh. That's awesome.
Well, that concludes what we have for this week. I do have a scripture of the week.
Go.
Is 1 John 3:18. My little children, let us not love in word, neither in tongue, but in deed and in truth. And I just want to encourage everyone. Everybody studies the word. Everybody is in the word. And there is nothing absolutely wrong with searching for the deeper meanings of the word. But don't neglect being a person that does what the word says. Don't neglect being the person that you're also reading about, which is Christ.
Absolutely.
So, with that, gentlemen, it's been a lot of fun. It's been great. I just wanted to say I can't wait to see you guys again. This has been a lot of fun. Till next time, this has been Ken's Corner.